Good evening. My name is Nathan Jensen, and welcome to Conversations with a Vampire. You know, when I was a child, I was so afraid of vampires that I actually got a glow-in-the-dark cross and I put it on my neck, hoping that if the vampires pulled the covers over, they would see the glow-in-the-dark cross and leave me alone. But my guest is a 400-year-old vampire, Juliet Bonham Lioncourt. Welcome to the show, Juliet.
Thank you, Nathan. I'm thrilled to be here tonight. It's really cute what you did when you were younger with the cross, but I'm sorry to say that would never have helped you. Sorry we couldn't tape the show in the morning, too. I'm not a big fan of sunlight.
This time is better for me as well. Juliet, besides living forever, what is one of the advantages of being a vampire?
Well, I would say not being able to see yourself in a mirror.
Not being able to see yourself in a mirror?
Do you know how much I save on cosmetics a year? It's very freeing. I mean, today I had my familiar doll me up a little bit since I was going to be on TV, but most of the time I don't have to worry about it at all.
Makes perfect sense. Any other advantages?
I'd have to say that you don't have to do any of those stupid bucket lists. We're not going to kick the bucket, so we don't have to do them. You know, like those 10 best pork rind sandwich joints to visit before you die. If I see another bucket list suggestion in a magazine or online, I will vomit blood through eternity.
I hear you. What are some of the misconceptions of vampires?
That we sleep in coffins.
You don't?
Of course not. I don't know how that silly notion got started. I tried it once and it was terribly stuffy and uncomfortable.
What do you sleep in?
My pajamas. I'm just kidding. Waterbeds, hammocks, futons.
Okay.
Another misconception is that we don't suffer any ailments. Did you know that 70% of all vampires struggle with lower back pain?
I'm just throwing this out here, but do you think it could be the waterbeds, hammocks, and futons that you folks sleep in?
You know, I never thought of it before, but you may have a point. I thought they were pretty comfortable, but all of that bloodlust just keeps us from thinking about proper sleeping habits. Currently, I'm taking Vampedrin. The extended releases, 1 tablet every 100 years will do you.
I'll give you my chiropractor's number after the show.
Great, thank you. It's hard to find a good doctor in the area. I hope they have evening appointments.
Any other physical challenges?
Poor night vision. I usually have to call an Uber after midnight, and yes, I always ask for Steve. He's a good guy. Be negative. The whole thing about vampires getting bat powers is true, just not like the movies. You know, the ones that maybe aren't so fun. We go blind as a bat, but our sense of smell and hearing is greatly enhanced.
That's surprising.
Yeah, well, we're usually up all night long, and that can be kind of tough on your retinas.
Juliet, you're over 400 years, and I must say that you look sensational for any age.
Thank you, Nathan. I get that all the time. I try my best to keep a diet of fresh blood, only from organic mortals. You are what you eat, they say.
Juliet, being 400, what is the most amazing technical advance you've experienced?
There have been so many over the years, but I'd have to say Ziploc bags. They're my favorite.
What about the iPhone 7?
Psh, overrated. You see, I grew up in a farm in the 1700s, rural France, close to Bordeaux. Everything was fresh from the farm, but it would never keep for more than a day. It was exhausting. Now I can just put my food in Ziploc bags and it stays fresh for weeks. Even better, I can just pop out a bag of blood, pop a little straw into it, and make a little convenient sippy pouch for those times I'm on the go. I call them Vamp Moons.
Amazing. Now what about the great works of literature?
There are so many writers and works to choose from. Tolstoy's War and Peace, Flaubert's Madame Bovary, Camus' The Plague. Very interesting read, especially right now. But if I had to narrow it down, I would go with Twilight, a modern classic. And oh, how they sparkle right into my little black heart.
What?
I'm just kidding again. See, everyone thinks us vamps are all about doom and gloom, but we're a lot of fun. My actual pick would be The Awakening by Kate Chopin.
Okay, Juliet. What about music?
Well, I've dated several musicians over time, Johann Sebastian Bach, and then his son, Johann Christian Bach. But he was so annoying, that little brat always stole my best gowns to wear.
No way.
I also went out with Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, and the Black Eyed Peas.
At the same time?
Listen, honey, I may be a vampire, but I'm not Wonder Woman. No, this was over a course of many years, one at a time.
I see.
So I listened passionately to classical, jazz, hip-hop, and world beat music. And I have to say, my pick would be the Electric Slide. Just kidding, just kidding. Control yourself, Nathan. It would probably be Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture and Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit.
Do you have a favorite dessert or snack?
Oh, I wish I had it right now. Blood pudding.
You know, my mother used to make that. I believe the recipe consisted of pork fat, oats, and barley.
Yeah, I can't really digest all of that very well. I use different ingredients.
Okay, now this next question is kind of off the wall, but I ask it to all my guests. What is your favorite Winona Ryder movie?
Oh, I don't think it's too off the wall. You can tell a lot about somebody by their favorite Winona Ryder movie. And that pale skin, I'm a big fan. I really like Beetlejuice, but if I have to pick just one, it would be Reality Bites.
Juliet, what about the physical strength of a vampire?
What about it?
Are you stronger than most mortals? Are you stronger than me?
No, don't be absurd, Nathan. Of course not. I'm stronger than about 100 of you, sweetie.
Wow, that's intoxicating and intimidating. Well, Juliet, this has been fascinating, but unfortunately we've run out of time. But I must say, being a vampire seems rather intriguing. Would you like to, if you're interested?
No, but thank you. I was getting a little bit hungry with the whole blood pudding thing, but you're really not my type, Nathan.
You mean I'm not a musician or a CEO or a famous mover or shaker or something like that?
No, you aren't those things, but I really mean blood type. You're O positive, right?
Yeah. How did you know that?
Believe me, I can sense this with frightening accuracy. You see, as I said, you're O positive and I'm more of a B negative kind of gal. But the cameraman...
Oh!